What is up YouTube, Samboard here, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be taking you through exactly how and why you should be logging your lifts in the gym. So I'm going to take you along on my leg session now, show you how I'm logging lifts and just explain a few things in terms of why we should be doing it, the best way to do it, and just how to optimize your progress in the gym. So get comfortable and enjoy this video. So before we start the session today, I quickly want to run through the setup of the logbook. So you guys are quite lucky today. This is my first time doing this session at this gym. I've just got back from Dubai a couple of weeks ago. I've not trained legs here yet, so it's a complete new workout for me. I don't have any numbers to beat, so I'm going to be in a similar position to a lot of you guys learning out there, as in I'm going to be figuring out my numbers today. So I'm going to show you exactly how I go about doing that, and I'm going to show you how I'd go about progressing these numbers week on week from now on. So as you can see in the logbook here, I've written out the workout at the top. So you're going to want to pick some exercises that you want to do. We're going to want to stick with the same order of exercise. We want to choose the amount of sets and the rep ranges for these exercises. So as you can see here, I've chose 6 exercises for legs. I'll do them in the same order every time, because if we were to mix the order up, obviously the numbers won't be valid. You know, for example, if I do that V squat 4th on one day and 2nd on another day, one day I'm going to be a lot more fatigued than the other, and the numbers just aren't going to be valid at all. So we want to be running the same exercises in the same order, do it for the same amount of sets and the same rep range. So for today, these are the exercises that I'm running. We're doing 2 sets per exercise. The first set is going to be in the 5 to 10 rep range, and the second set in the 10 to 15 rep range. And that is going to stay true for all of the exercises. Now, setting this rep range is very important, as it's going to tell us when we need to up the weight. But I'm going to run through all that in the session now anyway. But yeah, let's crack on. Leg day. So before we start the session today, I quickly just want to run through why we're going to log our lifts and why it's so important. So what you've got to understand is muscle is built through an adaptive response to basically keep you safe. So for example, if I was to come in the gym for the first time ever and I was to squat 100 kilos for 12 reps, and it's the first time I've ever done that, my body is going to adapt to keep me safe for this amount of reps and this load. You know, it doesn't know what I'm doing, it doesn't know I'm coming in here and purposely doing this. It just thinks, shit, I'm not safe for this, I need to adapt, I need muscle to keep me safe for what I've just done there, you know, in case it happens again. Now it's adapted, I'm now safe for that amount of reps and load. So if I was to come in the gym again the next week and squat 100 kilograms for 12 reps, my body isn't going to need any more muscle for this. Last week it already adapted, it's already safe for this amount of reps of this load. So how do we do this? Again, you know, if we want to call this adaptive response and cause more muscle again, we need to apply a new stimulus again, so something that's never done again. Because if we came in and we've done the same thing, it's already adapted, it's already safe for this, it's got no reason to adapt further. So if we're logging our lifts, we can basically guarantee this progression every single session by adding either reps or load of every set of every single exercise. So you've seen today's session, you know, we're going to do those same 6 leg exercises every time I come in here in the same order, because if I was to do different exercises in different orders, we'd have no idea what number we need to beat to cause that adaptive response and grow. It basically just makes it a yes or no thing when I come in the gym, you know. Am I going to grow from that set? Did I beat my number? Yes, I've grown from that set. No, it's done nothing positive towards hypertrophy. You know, I've not built any muscle from that set. I've given my body no reason to adapt and grow. So set number 1, we're going to go into an adductor here. So like I said, this is my first time doing this leg session. So I'm kind of picking my numbers a bit randomly here. So hopefully I'll fall within the rep ranges. So set number 1, we're going to go for a 5 to 10. And set number 2, we're going to fall in that 10 to 15 rep range. Now the way we're going to go about progressing our lifts is this rep range is going to tell us when to increase the weight basically. So for set number 1 in that 5 to 10 rep range, I want to pick a weight where I'm going to fail in that 5 to 10 rep range. And then we're going to either add reps or weight onto this set every single week. So say I pick 240 pounds now and I get 6 reps. Next week I know I got to do 240 pounds for at least 7 reps. And when I finally get 10 reps of 240 pounds, that's when I increase the weight to maybe 250 pounds. And work my way back up the rep range. So set number 2 is that 10 to 15 rep range. So today I'm going to do 180 pounds. Say I get 10 reps of that. I know I'm at the bottom of the rep range of that 10 to 15, so next week I can do 180 pounds again, and I got to get at least 11 reps. So this way we know we're applying a novel stimulus, something we've never done on our muscles, and just adding reps each and every session, and when we finally hit the top of that rep range, we'll increase the weight and then work our way back up the rep range. And we're going to do this on every set of every exercise, every single session, because like I said, it just guarantees we're coming in, we're doing something we've never done before, we're forcing our bodies to have that adaptive response and grow, and we know we're going to grow from that session instead of just kind of coming in and winging it. So now we're going to go onto a quad extension. We're doing 2 sets again, first in the 5 to 10, second in the 10 to 15 again. So we got that set number 1 of the leg extension done. So as you know, we're going for that 5 to 10 rep range. So I got 12 there, with the stack plus 25. So I know now I'm above the rep range, I beat the rep range, so next week we're going to increase the weight. So next week I'll probably go the stack plus the 25, plus maybe a 15 kilos as well. Hopefully fall within the rep range, and then we just add reps on that each week until we hit that 10 reps. But for set number 2, it's that 10 to 15 rep range. So I'm most likely to keep it on this same weight here and go for around 10 reps. So guys, that's set number 2 on the leg extension done. So as you can see, I got 10 reps there, bottom of the rep range on that 10 to 15. So next week I do that same weight, so the stack plus 25 kilos, and I got to get at least 11 reps on set number 2. Now, one thing you'll notice is I'm strapping into the leg extension. Something that's super important when you're progressing your list and logging your list is that we standardize our form on every single movement. So it's very easy to have a look at that logbook, and then obviously to beat that number, altering your form slightly to give you a mechanical advantage over the machine to get that extra rep or get that extra bit of weight. So on the leg extension, be little things like you could have great control with the movement, controlling the eccentrics, but your ass could come off the chair a tiny bit on those last couple reps to help get those couple reps up and to help beat the logbook. Now, if you do this and we beat the logbook with bad form, next week the only way to beat that again is going to be a bad form, and this creates really bad habits, and it's going to take the stimulus off the muscle you're actually trying to target. So by locking in, it's going to mean everything's in the same position, everything's stabilized. It means when I add reps or when I add weight, I know I'm progressing. Same goes with the seat positioning, the pad on my leg positioning. We're going onto a lying hamstring curl now, and that is going to be set up the exact same every time. Just because if we alter it slightly, like I said, some weeks we might have mechanical advantage over the machine, and it's not going to be a true indicator of whether we're actually progressing or not, and your numbers might not actually be valid. So guys, that's my 2 sets on the lying hamstring curl done. So set number 1, we done stack plus 20 kilos. We got 5 reps. That's the bottom of the rep range. So next week we're going to do stack plus 20 kilos for at least 6. The next week at least 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. And that's when we'll bump up to maybe the stack plus 25 kilos. So we had the reps so we hit the top of that 5 to 10 rep range. Then we increase the weight. Set number 2, I got 10 reps of 125 kilos. So again, that's the bottom of the rep range. So next week on set 2, I do 125 kilos again, and I got to get at least 11 reps on that. And I'll keep adding reps until I hit 15 reps, but then increase the weight. So you guys are probably getting the gist of this by now. Work up through the rep range and then increase the weight at the top of the rep range to continue applying that novel stimulus on every set of every exercise. But exercise number 4, we're going to go into our compound of choice, which for me is going to be a V squat today. Hopefully I get on all right with it. My knees are a bit temperamental depending on which compound I do. So we might end up on a different compound. We'll see how we get on with that. Before I jump on this V squat, I'm gonna quickly run you guys through the warm-up set approach as well for this, because of course, if we're going in every single session going for PBs, last thing you wanna be doing is walking in, putting on your PB weight of every set of every exercise and going straight in without warming up, because you will just be asking for an injury there. So every single exercise, I do at least 2 warm-up sets, anywhere between 2 to 5, depending on the movement, depending where the movement situates in the session. So earlier on in the session, I might do a few more warm-up sets. Later on, when I'm already a bit warm, I might do a bit less. And when I go on big compounds like this, I definitely do plenty of warm-up sets. So the way I'm going to approach this now, I'm estimating I'm going to do around 4 plates aside for my working set in that 5 to 10 rep range. So I'll do first a warm-up set with, a plate per side, a weight where I can't really feel much weight, and do around 10 reps on there. I'll then go 2 plates aside where I can feel there's a decent amount of weight on there. I get around 5 reps. Then I go around 3 plates per side, so about 80% of my working load, and literally do 1 or 2 reps. And I'll have a few minutes rest, and I'll go into my working set on that 4 plates aside. So The goal of these warm-up sets are to prepare you for the set, to minimize the injury risk, and we do not want to cause any fatigue on these. So you don't want to be overdoing it on the warm-up, so you shouldn't be out there banging out like 10 reps for 4 sets on, you know, a decent amount of weight. We just want to be warming up, getting used to the movement, get some blood in the muscle, and just making sure we really minimize that risk of injury before we jump on the heavy load and go for that PB. Anyway guys, I'm not going to film the whole workout because this isn't a workout video, this is an explanation of how to log your lifts. So just to summarize what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be doing the same exercises over and over and over again, same amount of sets, same rep range, and either adding sets or weight to every set of every single exercise. So we work up through the rep range on both sets, adding reps each time until we hit the top of the rep range, and then we look to increase the weight next time we hit the session. So for example, we've got the logbook here. I'm going to get up on the screen now an example of next week. So I put the date again, the gym I'm training at, number of the exercises 1 to 6 again, put in the weights that I need to hit again. So for example, exercise number 1, last week I got 240 pounds on the adductor for 6 reps. It's a 5 to 10. So this time I'm going to do 240 pounds again, and I got to get at least 7 reps. Another example is going to be on that quad extension. Set number 1, I done the stack plus 25 kilos for 12 reps. It's a 5 to 10, so I'm above the rep range. So next week I'm going to add a decent amount of weight on so that I fall within the rep range, and then keep adding reps on each week until I hit the top of that rep range. So next week, instead of the stack plus 25 kilos, I might go the stack plus 35 kilos, probably get around 8 reps of that. The week after get 9, week after get 10, and then we go up to the stack plus about 40 kilos. So I hope that will make sense, guys. If you've got any more questions, just drop them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to get back to you. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more like this, then make sure you subscribe as well, because I've got plenty more videos coming out just like this. Planning to get them out every Monday and Thursday moving forward. So see you guys in the next one.